Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakbadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say Shalom to Akhman Akwat out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled Speckled Birds, More Than Meets the Eye. All right, and the title of this lesson is kind of a play off the old Transformer intro, which was, Transformers, robots in disguise. We'll actually go play it. You won't have to suffer through me singing it. But Transformers, More Than Meets the Eye theme. Let's see if we can get it. Song. And I'll play it for you real quick. Just an excerpt. All right. Of course, free use. We're allowed to use a little bit of it. If it'll play. Let me open it like this. Check it out.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons.
Alright, that's all we'll play of that. But they're more than meets the eye. Why? Because they're robots in disguise. They look like cars, right? But they're really robots. Alright? And that, that's what I was thinking when I put this together. So speckled birds, more than meets the eye. They might look like an Edomite. They might look like a Hamite or a Moabite or a Ishmaelite. But they're more than meets the eye. Alright? Their spirit, they might look one way. They might have the features of a Hamite. But it's not about how they look, their features, or how their eyes, their ears, their hair is. That spirit is an Israelite. All right, so speckled birds are more than meets the eye. All right, Israelites in disguise, right? If you want to say it like that. But you're not gonna have to suffer hearing me sing because I can't sing worth a shit. So that's a topic. And it came from this. This last night I found out about this guy named BLP Kosher. All right, and this guy is a American Jewish rapper. Right? It says he is Jewish and known for embracing his heritage and faith in his music and public image. Now, right off the bat, looking at him, you say, okay, who knows? This guy could be if you look at Lil Xan, they say Lil Xan, his dad is Mexican. They say his name's Diego. Lil Xan's Mexican. Now, I'm not sure if he's a Jake or not, but this is Lil Xan. I guess he's got more facial tats now, but that's him. And some people would consider him a Jake. I don't know what he is at the end of the day. I'm not a big fan of his music. Not that means anything, but I guess he's got a bunch of these different tattoos now. And but yeah, his dad, all right, his name is Nicholas Diego Llanos, all right, and he's from Redland, California. Okay, so he would actually be mixed. He'd be considered mixed. Now you look at this BLP Kosher, he looks to be of more of some mixed amount than this guy. All right, if you're wondering what the sound is, that's a dog. Don't mind it too much. But yeah, so this guy is just who knows. Now he's self-proclaimed Jewish. I've looked into him, and now I can't find too much about him. He kind of keeps his stuff on the DL, and he doesn't have that much of a page about him. But his mom, all that I found out was that his mom wasn't so happy about his rap career. She's Jewish. I don't know what his dad is at the end of the day. Okay, and it's all about, we know it goes back to your father's lineage. Let's go ahead and prove that by the fathers, by their fathers. It was Numbers 1 and 18, and it was let's go to verse 16. It says, Numbers 1 and 16, these were the renowned of the congregation, princes of the tribes of their fathers, heads of thousands in Israel. And Moses and Aaron took these men, which are expressed by their names, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their of the names, from 20 years old and upward by their polls. So they're going up. What is a pedigree? First of all, we usually get this with just Google Translate, but we've been on that kick of using etymology online. So let's see what it means in etymology. What is pedigree? All right, pedigree, genealogical table or chart genealogical table or chart. Okay, what does genealogical mean?
Genealogical.
Relating to the study or tracing lines of family descent. What is descent? All right, ancestry, ancestors, your line, right? Your bloodline. Okay, and usually they try to forefathers. They try to really get away from this word race. They really do not like it. But if you go down here, it says in old manuscripts, descent was indicated by a fork sign resembling branching lines of a genealogical chart. It says, we don't want to read through the whole thing, but it goes back to, meaning what? Ancestral line. They declare their ancestral line how? They declare their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. So they declare their ancestral line, their ancestry. Let's go and look up ancestry, and I'm not the best speller over here, so fucking laugh and haha all you want. But look what ancestry means, and not the fucking define ancestry. Ancestors, all right, progenitors, all right, strain, roots, all right, family, and it's beating around the bush. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and get it in the etymology, because the etymology doesn't fuck around like Google. They try to cover up words like race or slave. They try to cover up different words. This doesn't do that. Series or line of ancestors, descent from ancestors, ancestry. So that's what it talks about. Race, it deals with your race, all right? What does race mean? If you look up race, it's lucky, that's for a video game. Race. No, just that's all I want. Don't take me to the first page. Race means, and of course they keep it all the way on the bottom. All right, ethnic group. All right, each of the major groupings into which mankind is considered to be divided on the basis of physical characteristics or shared, boom, ancestry. There you go. You can't cover it up so much, Esau, because it eventually goes back once you start getting the definitions. So they declared their race or their pedigree, their ancestry, all right, their genealogy, their ancestral line by who? Their fathers. So if their father was a so-called Negro, they're what? A so-called Negro. If their father was a so-called Mexican, they're what? A so-called Mexican. If their father's a so-called Native American, they're what? A so-called Native American. If their mom's a Hamite, they're not calling themselves after that. They're not saying, "Oh, I'm a Hamite." They're not saying, "Oh, my mom, she was an Asian, so I'm Asian." No. They declared it after their fathers. So, unfortunately, we can't really find out who this guy's father is because he's kind of closed off with his information. And even if you do have to get his father's name, and his father's name is Yosef Ban Yeshuda, all right, it doesn't mean anything, all right? Because at the end of the day, all right, if you looked into my dad thinks he's a so-called white person, even though it's came out in the family that one of the guys that could have been my dad, because my grandma really doesn't know who the guy is, she says it could have been a Mexican guy, all right? It was this Mexican guy. Now, every summer, we get talked in by Spanish. They come up and speak to us, and we don't speak Spanish because his dad, the one that ended up, stepping to the podium at least, is a white guy. Blonde hair, blue-eyed, he went bald, all right, he's short, not as tall as any of us, he's stubby, he has Germanic features that we don't have, and he looks nothing like us at all, okay? But every summer we get talked to in Spanish. Even at my job, people come up and habla español? No, unfortunately I don't. And they look at me like I'm a fucking, an elephant in the goddamn room. Like, what the fuck do you mean you don't speak Spanish? Look at you, what do you mean you don't speak Spanish? Oh, I don't fucking speak Spanish, man. That's just how it is, I just don't, right? So, but if you were to ask my dad, or to ask his so-called dad, that's not even his father, not even my grandfather, he would say we're white, right? That doesn't. Then how am I teaching the scripture? The Most High doesn't allow Edomites to teach scriptures. That's not how that works. Okay? You see these Asian-looking people, or these so-called white-looking people, these white boys, right, as they would call them in the camps. Guess what? They're not Edomites, and they're not Moabites or not Ishmaelites either. Or for example, there's that one brother from I can't remember where he was from, but he looked like he was so-called was he Turkish or something along that lines, and he said even his father would say we're Turkish, but he's an Israelite. How do you know? Because he's teaching the truth. All right, and you're not teaching the truth if you're an Edomite. All right, you can teach the gospel of Jesus Christ, but you won't be teaching the gospel of Yahweh Bashmiao Shai, and how heathens are going to go into captivity, and how Babylon's going to be destroyed. That's how you know, all right, by the Spirit. All right, by the Spirit, which I'm going to go and get. I'm going to get 1 John 4:1. All right, which was the closing note, but we're going to use it now because, again, they're not in any particular order. Now, we use this talking about false prophets, but you can use this in another way as well. 1 John 4:1, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. So you can't just believe every spirit. You have to try them, all right? And that's with false prophets. You got to, with people that you start asking them questions. But it's the same way when somebody comes up or on your comment board, or whether it's on the highways and byways or wherever you are, or even if you're out in a store or something like that, and someone comes up and talking to you, you think, oh, this guy's an Edomite because he looks. You got to let him speak for a minute. Weigh it through the spirit, man. Try their spirit. All right, hey, man, where are you from? Who are you? Oh, yeah, that's cool. Oh, yeah, this, that. You get to know after a while, all right? Then after a while, you're like, okay, maybe this person's a Jake. Maybe this guy's awfully cool for being a white boy. All right, for being an Asian, this guy's pretty cool. I don't know, man, because most of them act a certain type of way. Because regardless of how people want to say, they try to blend the lines of race. Asians do act a certain way. Jake, we act a certain way. Edomites, they act a certain way. All right, even among the tribes, we act different. Issacharites are going to act different from a Judite. All right, Judites are going to act different from a Benjamite. Benjamites might share more characteristics with a Levite or a Benjamite because they're southern kingdom, just like Ephraimites might have a closer connection to Issachar, right? But at the same time, we're all different. We got different things. We have different spirits, and you got to try them. You got to say, okay, is this person a Jake or is they not? All right, or is they not? Or are they not? All right. And you got to do it with Jake too. Sometimes Jake come up in a weird ass mode, and you're like, wouldn't this motherfucker? Okay, first of all, he's either cooning or this dude's a goddamn tear. All right, he's an Uncle Tom coon or he's a fucking tear. And you can't, it's hard to tell. Sometimes I'm like, usually I just leave it at that. I'm like, okay, they're either a coon or a tear. I can't tell the goddamn difference sometimes. You can't, because they act like that. But you can tell a Jake from a non-Jake. They have a spirit about them. They have a salt, a flavor, right? They're the salt of the earth. We're the salt of the earth, right? And tell them, if they dance or if they rap, all of a sudden they're really good at rapping. Or if they're really good at football, all of a sudden, they got a fucking mean stiff arm. They can juke like a motherfucker. They throw a ball like a goddamn spring. Boing! And it's not about color, because motherfuckers will come and say Patrick Mahomes is a tear. All right? But that's not the case. All right? And you're going to say, oh, you're sticking up for him because he's your QB. Yeah, I'm a Chiefs fan. But anybody seeing this motherfucker right here, would say, oh, yeah, he could be, and he looks darker in these photos. But sometimes he looks real white. Sometimes he looks just almost like a white boy, Look at this, he looks like so-called, like he could be a little Mexican, but look at here how light he is. But go back and look at Patrick Mahomes' daddy, all right, Pat Mahomes, and let's go and look at him. What does Pat Mahomes look like? Uh-oh, that's a Jake man. There you go. That is a Jake man. And guess what? You want to know why Patrick Mahomes has such a goddamn crazy-ass spring arm? Pink! It's because... That's why Patrick Mahomes has that arm, is because his dad was a pitcher. Would you think about that? That's seed line, man. That seed line has a crazy ass arm, man. All right, and that's probably Pat Mahomes right there when he was a baby, right? So you see, man, but look at his mama though. See? So, but people be quick to say, oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is a Jake. You try denying that, then you're just stupid. But look at Patrick Mahomes' baby now. Look, cause this is his wife. All right, look, she's white, man. She's super white, and she's ugly as hell, but she's white. Now look at these babies, man. Look, they're white. No one's gonna ever think that they're a Jake. They could walk around, hey, excuse me. You think about another 15 years, which I don't think we have, but another 15 years when she's like 16, walking around in a store saying, hey, tell me which aisle the broccoli's on, and people, oh yeah, that's a goddamn Edomite. No, that's a Jake. That's a Jake. All right, now his wife probably an Edomite. But he's a Jake, which means that daughter's a Jake. All right, which means that daughter's a Jake as well. All right, so it's not about color, man. It's not about color. Look at little Zan. His dad's Mexican. Going off of, if that's the case, he'd be a Jake. Now you'd have to look into his family line. Now he might have a Mexican dad, but turns out he actually down the line actually just goes back to something or other, So with BLP kosher, man. His dad, you might look it up if it ever comes out. You might see that it goes back to, oh no, he's from Israel. His name's Bon Yusuf, all this other stuff. But it still could be the fact that somewhere down the line, there could have been a Jake that got slipped up in there. Okay, that slipped up in there. His great granddaddy, all right, could have been, he could have looked like under the bed. you know, with fucking what was that name? Michael Blackson. All right, he said they said I am so dark. They said I look like under the bed. All right, but he's African. But no, he could have been that dark, man. He could have been that dark. He could have looked like under the bed, man. You know? So hey, man, he could have been so dark. All right, he could have been Akon Black, all right, as I like to say. He could look like Wesley Snipes. All right, he could look. You don't know. All right, but well, look what he looks like now. Look what he looks like now. Well, look at what Patrick Mahomes looks like, and look at his daddy. All right, his daddy was dark skinned. All right, and now you look at him. He's not dark skinned. He's not even light skinned. He has the skin complexion of a so-called Mexican, if anything, and a light one at that. So you can't go off his skin color, man. But that's all, you know, going through this. You know, you gotta try the spirits. Are they Jake? What do? They act, walk, talk like a Jake, and not all the time. Sometimes they might dance like one. There's parrots, man. There's parakeets out there that have just gotten real good at mocking and mimicking the way Jake moves. For example, another Jewish rapper. Me and my wife were actually talking about this last night because I was like, "You think this guy's a Jake? Maybe, you know, I don't know about BLP Kosher." But she's like, "You don't know. We don't know because you got that other Jewish guy, that rapper that did that one song." I'm like, "Oh yeah, Little Dicky." I'm like, "Yeah, but he's a comedian and he doesn't have sauce." So let me show you a little. Let me show you a little bit of Little Dicky first, okay? Let me show you that real quick. All right, to show you the difference. Now, this guy, I believe, this is a small hat. All right, this is an Amalekite. No doubt about it. I don't think he's a Jake, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you a little bit, play some of his music. Here you go. We're allowed to use this under the Fair Use. I'm actually just put that up. Fair Use Act. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and put it up right on the screen. There you go. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this. Open image in new tab. Just gonna go ahead and put that up. You can read that. All right, we're allowed to use this. You can read this one if you want. You can go ahead and read them. We are allowed to use this. Okay. So with that being said, all right, we're gonna go ahead and play this and show you that I don't think this guy's a Jake.
Those margaritas not going on my card. I ain't about to split a damn thing for convenience sake. I'm at the restaurant working that way too. Hold up, you ain't heard a Lil Day, young L, the Jew business. We was saying that much. That's the church fresh as hell, no Easter. I can. See, never doing nothing, blow fans. Walgreens car shopping, all the off brands.
He doesn't have any sauce. The way he moves is ridiculous. The only thing that could make this seem a little bit more Jakey is because it's got Fetty Wap and Rich Homie Quan in it. But if you take one of his other songs, and let's go and do professional rapper.
Bro, I could go on and on. I'm taking over and they mad like father-in-laws.
Okay, enough of the punchline. That ain't showing me you different than the other guys.
Well, I don't know if they can run it like that, but ain't nobody else doing funny tight rap.
What's that?
Well, I could tell a story about my morning watching Boy Meets World and...
See, so you see, it's just, and he's got Snoop Dogg. He gets a lot of Jakes that do it with him, that make songs with him. But at the end of the day, there's no it's sauceless. It's sauceless.
Just wanted to say.
We love the earth. It is our planet. We love the earth.
It's just sauceless, man. Now I'm gonna play a little bit of BLP Kosher. I'm gonna show you why I think this guy just might be a Jake. Okay, I think this guy might just be a Jake. All right. Now it's mumble rap. It's mumble rap trap. But keep in mind, you know, you can't. Let's get another scripture. Let's get another scripture before we even do anything. I want to get another scripture because we're talking about speckled birds. We haven't even got the speckled bird scripture. This is Jeremiah 12:9. All right, which reads, "Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour." Let's go and look up a speckled bird. Okay. Go look up a speckled bird. All right, what colors do we got here? Lots of different color. I have to do it all the time. Look, this one, you got brown, you got a little bit of yellow, you got a little bit of white, you got brown, you got almost black in here. Different shades of brown, almost like an umber brown. Look at this one. You got blue, you got orange, you got yellow, you got different, almost some shades of green in here, which go into almost a purpley-ish tone. Look at this speckled bird. I don't know if that's edited or not. I think that's a edit, but the difference is that there's a lot of different colors in a speckled bird, man. All right. So look, just if you look at the great speckled bird, look, all these different colors, black and brown, tones of black and brown, man, and white even in here. So his heritage is likened to a speckled bird. You can't just look at someone and say, oh, they're white, that's an Edomite. You can't look at someone and say, oh, they're brown, all right, they're a Jake. That's not the case. There's some motherfuckers that like Tucker Carlson, okay? Tucker Carlson, this motherfucker right here, not Tucker Carlson. No, Tucker Carlson's a good example because he could actually be a Jake, all right? Even the apostles mentioned that he could be a Jake. I think he could be a Jake, all right? Tucker Carlson, he's something a little bit different. I wasn't speaking about him. I was speaking of, who's that black scientist? Neil deGrasse Tyson. This motherfucker right here. I think this guy might just be a terror, all right? Who's his dad? Cyril deGrasse Tyson. Now, another black man, all right, so-called. So who knows? Who knows? I wonder who his father is, all right? But you can't go off of all those things, all right? You can't go off of all those things. So, where else do we want to go with this? Who else could we show? Here's one that's the, God damn, what was his name? Lenny Kravitz. This motherfucker right here, you think he's a Jake? Nope. Small hat. He's an Ashkenazi Jew. All right, Ashkenazi Jew. Okay, you can look that up. All right, his dad is if you look up his dad. All right, Cy Kravitz. There he is. There's his dad right there. All right. So, but you'd be quick. Yeah, man, that's a brother, man. That's a brother, man. But you'd look at someone like Patrick Mahomes and be like, no, he ain't a brother. You look at someone like BLP Kosher, who knows what he goes back to, and you'd be like, oh no, that ain't a Jake. But you call Lenny Kravitz a Jake. Why? Because he looks brown. All right. There's brown looking people out there. There's the Hodge twins. Those motherfuckers, man. Look at these motherfuckers right here. Hodge twins. These motherfuckers are terrors. These are Edomites. All right. The Hodge twins. You see, no, those are brothers. These are Edomites, man. They're the definition of a goddamn coon. All right, if they were a Jake, which I don't think they are, but they're the definition of a coon over here. You know, oh, these black people, you know, they sure are. You know, these damn blacks. You know, these man. You know, they're look.
Yeah, I got a new show for y'all. Got a damn good show. I like all kinds of music.
But they're self-proclaimed black. But Edomites the ones saying these aren't like the other coons out there. These aren't like those other jigaboos out there on the street. These guys are nice. Why can't you be all like them? That's because they're your people, Esau. Because they're your people, man. These are you. They're just a chocolate covered Edomite. That's all. They're the same sucker, just a different flavor. That's it. All right. But Jake will look at someone white, even that has a black daddy, and they're like, no, man, no, they ain't one of us, man. They ain't one of us. But you'll look at some brown dude that's super fucking dark and has a white ass dad, all right, that was a slave owner. You're like, no, he's a Jake. He's Jake for sure. No, he's not, man. You see, Jake needs to get over that skin color shit. And Jake will use the stupidest arguments like, look at you, you're just saying that because of me. Yeah, well, cool. You can say I'm talking about that because it's me. It's in the Bible, man. What about all the other looking there's white looking brothers in GMS. All right, there's white looking brothers, there's Asian looking brothers, there's all sorts of different looking types. All right, there's all sorts of different looking types, and there's tares, man. Well, we're talking about tares. What is a tare? And there's spiritual tear, and there's lineage tears. All right, so let's go to here it is. Verse 24, this is Matthew 13:24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which soweth good seed in his field. This is red letter, Yahushua speaking. Good seed, pure seed. You know what it is. It's wheat. Doesn't have anything else in it. It's just wheat. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. So, you know, and especially down south, man, I've mentioned it before. All right, you'll have these people that'll be quick to, all these black people are Jake. You realize that the slave master Edomites were popping the shit out of Jake women? They were popping the shit out of Jake women because they knew they looked better. All right, and then you had these little chocolate Edomite babies running around, not even knowing that those are Edomites. All right, but you be like, nah, man, Tremaine's my brother. He ain't your brother, man. Tremaine's the slave owner's baby. All right, he's a fucking Edomite. He's an Edomite. I know he's an Edomite. Yeah, he's a fucking Edomite, man. But you're quick because of why? Because his skin color. Drop the goddamn skin color. It's not all blickety black, blackety blick, blickety black. I'm black and I'm black and I'm black, y'all. And I'm blickety blacker than black and I'm black and I'm back. Because I'm back and I'm black. with that bullshit, man. Drop that goddamn skin color shit, man. You're over here, oh no, man, Native Americans aren't black. Latinos aren't black. It's only blackity black. Okay, so you're gonna let Hotum Hambambre, all right, over there from fucking somewhere in Hukalukarambe, all right, you're gonna let him in, all right, his African ass, you're gonna let him in, all right, and into your life because, oh, no, he's a brother. What? No, he's an African, but no, because he's an African, all right. But you're gonna try to let him in because of his skin color, but you won't let a white-looking person in, even though he can teach the scripture and all this stuff. You don't want him around you because he's an Edomite. All right, not that they'd ever let in a Hamite, but they'd be quicker to let in a Hamite than some brother that looks like a so-called white person. They'd be quicker to let a Hamite in quick. Stupid, man. Stupid. All right, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. That's the same example with like the slave owner popping these black women and that so-called black women. Now you got all these chocolate Edomite babies running around. It says, but when the blade was sprung up, he brought forth fruit. Then appeared also the tares. And so the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, is not thou sow good seed in thy field? Man, look at this. From whence then hath it tares? Why? Look, what did you plant here, man? Look at all this. Look at all these. This ain't right. You want us to take these out? What do you want us to do with these, man? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? The guy, in this case, it's the Lord. In this case, it's this parable's, referring to the Lord. He's saying, no, I didn't. No, this enemy did this. The Edomites did this. Those aren't mine. I know they look similar, but they aren't mine. They said, what do you want us to go and just get them all up, kill them all up, and get them out of there? What was said? Red letter. But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Because why? Because they're hard to discern, man. If you look at wheat and tare, all right, they look very similar, all right. Unless you're trained to know what wheat looks like, then unless you're trained to know what wheat looks like, you could end up gathering the wrong thing. They look very similar. If you don't know the right thing, you might gather the wrong one. Okay, this is the difference: wheat and tare. All right, wheat's a little bit fatter with the bulbs down here. But if you never knew that, you could end up gathering this thinking it's wheat. All right, because they look so similar. But there's ways to tell, just like we have ways to tell now. All right, sometimes it's really hard though. All right, but he said, Nay, lest while you gather up the tares, you root up some of the wheat with them. You root up also the wheat with them. Slock, let me read that. I added something into it that I didn't mean to. I slipped in tongue, but not in faith. What is it? Stumbleth in speech, but not in heart. Roughly paraphrasing. Matthew 13:29. But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until harvest, and in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, Gather ye first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. There you go. So let's go and watch this. Video. This is Special K, and these are the two ones that I thought was really good. Jew on the Canoe and Special K. And I'm gonna pause it. And of course, we're gonna use this. We're not making any money off this. All right, we don't make any money off this. And when I say we, I'm speaking of all brothers. All right, none of us, at least any of us that are following GMS, we don't make any money off these videos. All right, at all. All right, we don't monetize. We don't do none of that. All right, we do not make money off these videos. Okay, that's why you don't see ads on our videos. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit play. And so check this out.
Crazy, okay, big.
Drader, man, I had to walk it out.
I'm gonna skip it a little bit so they can't get me.
Fuck up, that boy a bimbo. Getting low, they playing limbo. Tried to slice me, I went Kimbo. Op hoes get turned to widows. He was stretching shit for shit show. Now he riding in a limo. I'm the fiddler on the roof, I'm sending 50 out the window. I used to work at 5 Below, but now I keep that 5 Below. Them hearts cold, wood ain't melt. Robert Frost or does it explode? Them boys suck, to each his own. They tried to slide, epic poem. So if it's smoke, then let me know. They dropped the post to postpone. Come run Tom Hanks. Every op gon' walk the plank in Coral Springs. Masked up, I'm looking like I robbed banks.
I think he's a G. That's his person. I mean, this guy's got way too much flavor and sauce to be a small hat. All right, it's one thing with Edomite, but for a small hat, an Amalekite, no way, no way. And you can talk about parrots, and there are people out there that are like parrots. All right. Slim Jesus is one of those motherfuckers that tries to be like that. Remember, everybody remember Slim Jesus? Remember him with Drill Time? But you know, he's one of those ones that tried to be, and you could tell a parrot don't sound. A parrot, when it talks, it don't sound just like normal. You can tell a little bit, like, that ain't, I can see where they're trying to do it, but it ain't about it. All right, like Lil Dicky or like this motherfucker.
I got a loud pack, I got school buses. Hurry up, fam, come and shop. I got a big 40 with a 30 clip, and I call that bitch my fucking mom. I paid $350 for a Fendi belt and that double F. Hold up my strap. A lot of y'all just Twitter flex, but this shit ain't just a fucking rap.
You know, and that's an Edomite. All right, that's an Edomite. Let's listen to another song of his.
Way too heavy. This a Benz, not a Chevy. Mixing Louis with the Fendi. Red bottoms, I got plenty. Sipping Henny, not a Remy. Backwoods, smoking Medi. Wear the Glock, keep it with me. 30 shots for my enemies. I just bought a new chain with them suckers, see? Watching me ballin', they suffering.
Now, at the end of the day, could he be a Jake too? He could be. I don't think so. I think he's a little goofy. I think he's a parrot, like a mockingbird, but whatever. He doesn't, because he might be able to get some good rhymes in, but at the end of the day, he's sauceless, man. He's sauceless. The sauce ain't there. He might have the good rhymes, and he might be able to rhyme and do all that, but the sauce is missing. BLP Kosher got a little bit of that sauce. He got a little bit of that sauce, you know?
The sewer, since that's what clowns do. I put a hole in the wall, and I got bars too. 38 special, that special K got lots of carbs too. Say shit about my drip, I told her water has a surface.
There's a lyric in here too. He's good with his like lyric wordplay. He's good with his wordplay. Check this one out.
And I'm forever smoking Nazis. I'ma pass the blunts to Anne Frank. The same ones who switch, the ones who say watch who's around you.
You know, and so he uses that Jewish shit in there too. So, you know, but at the end of the day, I don't know. This one was fire too. I like this one a lot. Check this one out.
I might find me a message in a bottle, coach. Y'all, route it out. Rap and dry, dandruff, out of piece. Hey, let it kick back like an angry horse and make him hit the hay. Spider bites, it all trapped the trapper, put me on the play. They told me I should make a Yeezy dish, but I don't fucking play. I serve the crack of cornstarch, cause I don't fuck with ye. Two-Face, I call that bitch Cruella, cause she from the Ville. Stay on track until I hit 100K or make a mill. Kosher pickle, keep a barrel while I'm skating, Jason Dill. Kosher pickle, keep a barrel while I'm skating, Jason Dill. We in the cut, get a gauze bandage. Pull up on the criminal like a villain, Krampus. Llama whoop from the noise, she say it's to me though. Truth of the matter is I hop up on like Andy B though. They sleeping on me, I might leave their ass to El Dorado. Or maybe I'll just take the man and Chevis to Morocco. Hog wash, he ain't gon' step without his goon. Swashbuckle, they don't let the Jew on the canoe. I'm in the suit, Natasha tearing up my suit, tearing my suit. That sound fruitful that I'm laughing, see about what this honey do.
And, you know, he kind of reminds me of a little bit, he reminds me almost like a little bit like Blueface. A little bit like Blueface with like a little bit of something else in there. But I think his music's pretty good. I mean, as far as like that shit new rap, that new, so I like some of that fucking, like just stupid ass fucking mumble rap. I do. I like the old school rap because I understand there's more, lyricism in it, but I like some of this new fucking mumble rap ass shit too. I'll admit it. I like some of that fucking trashy ass mumble rap. Like this BLP Kosher's all right. I like, I was a big fan of Trippy back in the day. I like a little bit of Little Lucifer, all right, or Lil Uzi Vert, all right, or Lucifer, or if you know what he's doing with his name. I like some of his stuff. I don't really listen to his stuff because his stuff really fucking wicked. A lot of these people are, but I used to like Comethazine, a lot of these rappers and shit, the Baby, and all this. So I used to listen to all that type of shit. So, but at the end of the day, hey man, he's got a little bit of sauce. So you got to ask yourself. He might not be as kosher as you think he is, you know, and you know, he might really be an Israelite. You know what I mean? He might really be an Israelite. Here it is. He thinks he's Israelite. He might really be one. He might really just be a J. And you can't say, oh no, because the way he's got sauce, man. He grew up in a rough part. You might say, okay, he learned how to grow up, but you got to look at Eminem, man. Eminem's a Jake. All right. Eminem's a Jake. There's no doubt about that. Try telling the apostles and elders, Great Millstone, that Eminem ain't a Jake. You get laughed out the goddamn room. All right, you would get laughed out the room because you're not. Everybody knows that Eminem's a Jake. All right, there's just no way. All right, and a matter of fact, if you say if you say Eminem's not a Jake, that's anti-Jake that you done said that, because you're saying that a white man outsold you. You're saying that an Edomite outsold you, went platinum more times than you are, the better battle rapper than you are. You saying Esau dominated you in every aspect of everything ever? Psh, no. All right, so nice try. Now, could at the end of the day he actually be an Amalekite? He could be, but I think this guy's a Jake. If I had to make a bet, all right, like $50, I'd probably say he's probably an Israelite. For real, like a real Jake, okay? Because there's something about him, man. He's got flow. All right, I don't know. I don't fuck with Ye. He's talking about Kanye and shit. It's just, I don't know. It's ridiculous. But at the same time, if you look at him, he's got drip, man. He's got style. All right, he's got that salt, man. He's got that flavor that Jake has. Has a fucking album called Mazeltron. It's just BLP Kosher and Babytron. Look, man. So I don't know, man. BLP Kosher and the Magic Dreidel. I don't know. Just think about it. So who knows? And this is him when he was like a young skater kid. And you might say, "Oh, look at him! That's proof he's emo." I used to look like that when I was a kid. I used to have that emo haircut. Used to wear those skinny ass jeans with the fucking Vans. All right, listen to that song, all that fucking music. Just the fucking red jumpsuit apparatus and fucking Suicide Silence, Bullet for My Valentine. I didn't really listen to much of them, but all that type of era shit, that emo shit. I was into all that. All right, so you can't judge a person of, oh yeah, they were emo. I cut myself with razor. Some of those people can still be Jakes. It's just they were, they were just doing what was in style at the time, So continuing on, we're gonna get 1 Samuel 16:7. Again, because it's not about appearance in this thing, man. It's not about appearance. And you can go ahead and say, you can go ahead and say it's because, oh, you look white. Go ahead and say it's because I look white. All right, that's all right. Do what you do. That's fine. If you want to believe that, that's what you can. But it's within the scriptures, man. It's not just something I'm saying. 1 Samuel 16:7 says, but the Lord said unto Samuel, actually, let me go up. No, this is fine. 1 Samuel 16:7 says, but the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance. Let's go and get that word. What is countenance? Let's go get an etymology. Go and see. Oh, you want an example? You want to see some people that are trying to be like Jake that aren't Jake? Here's one. Here's one for you.
Rip Barbie.
Here's one who's not a Jake.
Period I, period 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 period I, period
Here's another one.
How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Yo, what I just said.
What is that?
What I just said.
She has another one. What's her name? Bad Baby. Here you go. You want to see someone who's not a Jake? Here you go.
Socks. This a big watch. Diamonds dripping off with a clock. Pull the 6 out. Winter time. Dropping the top. Give it to they pussy ass. Turn this shit up a notch. Gucci flip flops. Make a kick rocks. It's a big clock. Check the wristwatch. Check baby got these bitches busting for cash.
And she's like that. She's like that Rachel Dozer bitch. All right, who knows? She could go back. You never know. At the end of the day, she actually looks like she could be Latina, maybe. So maybe she is a Jake. Let me see. What's her? Let's see. Bad Baby. Race. She's white. Oh, her father's side is Polish, Ashkenazi, Jewish. There you go. There you go. There you go. Right there. Small hat. All right, small hat. Okay. And at the end of the day, I always give everybody the benefit of the doubt, say that she could be at the end of the day, because you just don't know, man. You just don't know at the end of the day. All right. But, just like BLP Kosher could turn out to just be a small hat, She could turn out to be a Jake. Who knows? Who knows? But I think she's a parrot. All right. Why? Because again, you got to look for the sauce, man. You can make steak all day. You can go ahead and make tacos and enchiladas all day. But if there ain't no salt in it, you're like, okay, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? It's an enchilada. It ain't a fucking enchilada. There ain't no flavor in it. Where's the fucking salt, man? Where's the salt? Well, what's the steak? What did you season this with? Nothing? It's, yeah, it looks like a steak. It has kind of a flavor of a steak, but this ain't fucking steak. You ruined it. It's the same way. I don't think Bad Baby's a Jake. I don't think Lil Dicky's a Jake. I don't think, I know for a fact that Barbie, period I know that ain't a Jake. I can't say I know it for a fact. I'll take that back. I would be very surprised. This is a fucking Edomite. That's an Edomite, man. And all these other people, those are examples of parrots, man. Those are examples of parrots, But again, you can't look on how they look, all right? Or even somehow times they flow, man. So the thing, again, with BLP Kosher, the reason why I think he's probably a Jake is because he's got the lyrics, he's got the lifestyle, all right. Even though he's a small hat, all right. You got Jake that are doing this whole Nation of Islam bullshit, so you can't say that. And then you have and plus his mom's a small hat, so that probably has a lot to do with it too. What's the word? But yeah, you have to combine everything, all right? Bad Baby, yeah, she has the lyrics. Somebody probably wrote that for her, all right? On top of that, she so desperately wants to be black, all right? That's the whole thing. You got to look at, okay, do they have good lyrics? Are they performing it well? When they're performing it well, how are they moves? Are they moving smoothly? Do they do Jake mannerisms? All right, how do they act? How do they talk? Right? So, you can't just weigh, oh, they had lyrics. There's people out there that have lyrics that ain't shit. Some of these famous people, Ariana Grande and stuff. Look at her. Her last name's Grande. At the end, I think that girl is an Edomite. Okay, everyone like, no, she's Latina. I don't think that bitch is Latina at all. I think Ariana Grande is a fucking Edomite. Okay, again, I think these are my things. All right, there's just just like for example, even the apostles and elders, they'll tell you that Elvis is a Jake. And now for one point, I was like, man, Elvis ain't no Jake. That's a goddamn parrot. But when Elder Apostle Gabar went into the his life and how he was raised up and how everything was going, I said, matter of fact, that is a Jake. That's got to be a Jake. There's no way. All right, and how he was so influential and Esau just loved him. Jake all the way, man. Jake all the way. So you can't always just go off you gotta weigh things to the spirit. You gotta think about it. Think spiritually. It's not about how they look. All right, it's everything. All right, how they move, how they talk. Do they have sauce? Can they sing? Can they dance? All right, are they funny? Are they stale? Are they drab and bland and boring? Ugh. Can they not recite their lyrics? What is it, man? What is it? So going back to scripture, 1 Samuel 16:7, not to cut it off. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. So the Lord knows who his people are. He's not looking on the outside appearance. Yeah, that guy's white. He's an Edomite. No, he's looking on the heart. He's looking on the heart and through the soul. All right, that's one of mine. He knows who his sheep are, man. He knows who his people are at the end of the day. All right, he can even tell the 2/3 from the 1/3. All right, the Lord knows who his people are, man. So countenance, all right, look not on his countenance, which means what? Behavior, conduct, manners. All right, don't look at how he acts or has his behaviors. Don't look at his behaviors. Don't look at his height of his stature. Don't look at how he looks. All right, man looketh on outward appearance, and it says, but the Lord looketh on the heart. Okay, he was basically telling Samuel, it doesn't matter how he looks or any of that. All right, I look on the heart. All right, I know them by my people, and sometimes you might even have a Jake that just walks, talks, and looks just like an Edomite, has no sauce. All right, they might have been their whole life raised around Edomites, and hey, how you doing, guys? And yeah, this guy's an Edomite. He actually might just be a Jake. You don't know, man. But generally, somewhere you might see a little bit of Jakeisms, spewing through the cracks. All right, you might see some seeping through the cracks. Okay, as Ecclesiasticus 11:2. All right, we're pretty much almost done with the lesson. Pretty much got the point. Ecclesiasticus 11:2. Commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance. Okay, so that's another thing. You shouldn't, lifting up a man, oh yeah, this guy's so great because of the way he looks, and you shouldn't be, oh man, this man's so terrible just because of the way he looks either. All right, and that can go off of looks, because a lot of time they'll take a handsome looking man and they'll be like, oh, this is the true preacher of the word. And then they'll take, someone who might not have the best looks. I'll use my example. I mean, a lot of the men in this truth, they're handsome looking dudes. All right, no homo, right? they're handsome looking dudes. They're not ugly. All right, but we might not be considered conventionally attractive. I'll use myself as an example. For example, some of us look rough. All right, we got the beard. Some of our beards aren't exactly great. They might be a little bit patchy, right? But we might look like rough. We might look like we had that type of lifestyle, right? But they might not consider us conventionally attractive. All right. For example, even you ladies, all right, when you have your heads wrapped up or you have your hair wrapped up, people in the world might not think that's attractive. Or if you're not showing your titties off and because you're covered up as you should be, all right, they might think that's not attractive. You look like a fucking nun. You look like, what are you, fucking Amish? All right, it's not conventionally attractive. All right, beards, they're coming into play now, but a lot of people don't really they're starting to come into play because of the Hebrew Israelites, because of us. All right, but before, beards weren't a thing. All right, and there's still some women, I don't like beards, I don't like facial hair, I don't like that. So they would consider us not attractive because of our beards, or because of the way we have our hair, or because of certain, I only like men that have shaved faces and dreads. All right, well, then you're not going to find us attractive. All right, but they'll put someone like us down that might not be conventionally. Now, what is conventional? All right, let's look up that word. Conventional. All right, things that are normal, ordinary, or follow the accepted way. All right, it's not acceptable for men to have facial hair. That's how these people think, because it's a Roman society. Esau, tried to ostracize and make facial hair look bad. So they're, oh yeah, he looks rough, he looks scraggly, he looks disheveled, he looks homely. All right, they might say different things about us. All right, when you're in this truth, none of the men in this truth are ugly looking. They're all handsome looking men. All right, they're all handsome looking men. The sisters, they're generally, that's just something. That's something that just happens to be that way in this truth. I don't know why it is that way, but we're not conventionally attractive in the way that people will more than likely prefer someone with a shaved face or a woman that has, her head uncovered or wearing skimpy garments. So they will abhor us because of our outward appearance. They're like, oh, they can't be prophets. Look at them. They got those scraggly facial hair. Oh, they got a little bit of a gut on them. Or look at this. Or, this, that, yada, yada, yada. But they'll see, some demon, all right, that like Geno Jennings, all right, and he's probably a Jake too. But they'll see someone like Geno Jennings, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, he must be a man of the Lord. Geno Jennings is not a man of the Lord. All right, he's a man of Satan. He's a man of Esau's devil, all right? This devil, all right? He's paid off of that 501c3, man. So, but they'll commend him. Oh, look at how handsome and attractive he is. And, nice little mustache is all. That's all you need. He keeps it nice and orderly, and he's got the nice suit. Yeah, see, you're going to commend someone because of their beauty, but you're going to abhor someone for their outward appearance, which is going directly against the scriptures. But not that you would even believe this because it's in the Apocrypha. Oh, no, that's in the Apocrypha. That's this and that. Yeah, whatever you say. All right, that Roman Catholic Church is the one who got the Apocrypha removed, and we have a lot to say about them. But what they did, William Tyndale as well, who was the first one to translate into English the Bible. All right, the Old and New Testament. Well, notably the New Testament, but he did the Old Testament as well. But then he was put to death, so a couple of his people were, associates finished it for him out of his works. But it was the first that translated it to English, and he was put to death by that because it was against the rules of the Roman Catholic Church, because it went against, what they were teaching. Once the book was in English, it was hard, they could read that, and they didn't want that being known. They didn't want those things being known, and that's why they're trying to ban the Bible now. These same people all over again. All right, so we're going to close out with 2 Timothy 2 and 19. All right, this is 2 Timothy 2 and verse 19. Nevertheless, the foundation of Yahweh standeth sure, having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are his, and let everyone that nameth the name of Hamashiach depart from iniquity. Once again, nevertheless, the foundation of Yahweh standeth sure, having this seal. Having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are his, and let everyone that nameth the name of Hamashiach depart from iniquity. So, and that's really talking about, the 1/3, the elect, but that's also showing you that the Lord knows who his people are, regardless of what they look like. He knows who his people are, and who are his people, the Israelites, most notably the 1/3. He knows who those people are, regardless if they look like a so-called Asian man, regardless if they look like a so-called black man, or if they look like a so-called white man. He knows, regardless. He knows the spirits. He knows the spirits. He's not going off of how they look. He's going off their spirit. He knows who they go back to through that bloodline. All right? So that's been the lesson. Speckled birds, more than meets the eye. Just like Transformers, it might look like a car. It's not a car. That's a robot. All right? So just like that's not an Edomite. That's actually just a Jake. It's more than meet the eye, man. You gotta, yay. And I'm not saying by any means, am I saying 100% is BLP kosher a Jake? I'm not saying that. Do I think so? I think so. He is. Yeah, I absolutely do think that he's probably a Jake. All right, just like I think that Lenny Kravitz is a small hat. All right, just like I think Bad Baby is a fucking small hat. Just like I think that lady period is an Edomite. All right, that's what I think. Those are my opinions. All right, but it's well known that people like Elvis and Eminem are Jakes, man. If you can't get that, then I don't know. You might be stuck too much on that blackness, and that ultimately lead to your downfall. Because remember, blackness means to be void of light, and that's what a lot of y'all motherfuckers are. So that's been the lesson. Lord willing, it's edifying. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth to rule well. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Till next one, Lord willing. Shalom.